Have you just finished building your custom Lego house, but you don't have any ideas for furniture? Well, luckily you clicked on today's video, because today I'm going to be showing you 10 awesome Lego furniture ideas that you can use for your custom Lego house. Please sure to leave a like and subscribe before we get into today's video, because I'm Alex, and you're watching Awesome Lego Builder. Starting off today's video, of probably one of the most essential Lego furniture items is this couch. Now, this is not just an ordinary couch. This also has some uniqueness to it, as well as this is actually a pull-out couch, which you can see. Let's use Steve as an example. You can put a minifigure on here, and if you pull back this down, it can also become a bed, which, as you can see, you can also put a minifigure with, like that, which is pretty cool. So here's an example of what it will look like inside a house. Next up on the list we have is this mini kitchen, which, as you can see, we have a sink to the right, along with a drawer right underneath it. We also have a nice counter here with a cup. You can also put other things there if you wish. That's just an example I put there, but you can really put anything. And we also have a stove here with a pan on it. And on the back there really isn't too much. Just plain, because it will usually go against a wall, so you won't see that. And as well as here, we also have just some stands to lift it up from the ground, so to make it a little easier if you want to, like, move it around so it doesn't get, like, stuck to the floor and everything. And then here is an example of an image of what it would look like inside a house. Next up we have is this nightstand, which I think personally is probably one of my favorite ones out of most of the furniture here we have. So we have here as well with the cabinet, we have two drawers which you can put stuff in. And on top we have is a beautiful plant with a flower pot. And to the left of that we also have a lamp. But this also has some cool features to it, such as this actually is a minifigure head, but with a gold texture to it, which is just a cool thing I thought I could add to give it some more, like, uniqueness to it. And as well as, this actually also is a flower pot, but I flipped it upside down and turned it into a nice lamp. And this is what it would look like inside of a house. Next up on the list we have is this cabinet with a coffee stand on top. And another cool feature is you can actually open this cabinet apart from the other ones. As you can see here, you can actually put stuff in there. For example, I put in there a water bottle, just for an example. But you can really fit anything in there that's the appropriate size and that can, fit in there. And you can also, close it right back. And then we actually have the coffee machine itself right here. And we have, as well as, like, a dialogue on the side right here to monitor the thing. And as well as we also have the drain here in case any coffee goes out of the cup. It won't fall on the floor, but it will go into there. And yeah, and this is an image of what it will look like inside of our house. Next up we have is the standing up lamp, which you can see I also added some cool details to it. Along with this one also actually has a upside down flower pot for the creativity of it. And as well as, if you can see, there is a little light up there. There, I think it's like a stud I used. And we also have this square piece I used so that it could stay more stable to the floor and not tip over. And as well as, it'll look really nice, especially if you put it next to a furniture item. An example would be a couch right here, which I think is like a nice duo, especially like in a house or like a living room. It would look really nice. And yeah, and this is an example of a picture of what would it look like inside a house. Next up we have is this nice office chair I created. Now this, as well, is also able to rotate all 360 degrees, as you can see. With this nice spinning tile I put on the bottom, which allows it to do that. And as well as also has some nice armrests on both sides. And you can also put a minifigure with this. Let's just take Steve from Minecraft, for example. even though he probably does not. This kind of stuff, he's gonna be our example. But yeah, and it's pretty nice for a minifigure, and you can like kind of have him like work at an office, like I guess you can have even like a table, which is pretty cool. And yeah, and here is an example of what would it look like inside a house without Steve though. Next up we have is this simple bed I created, which for starters we have, for the blanket, I did a simple nice design where I took one big darker blue stripe in the middle and two lighter blue stripes on the sides, along with a sloped white piece for the pillow, and on the bottom, two stands in case, for example, if you want to move the bed somewhere else, it won't get stuck to the floor, and you can use it to get an easier grip of it. And this is an example of a picture of what would it look like inside a house. Next up we have is this nice table I created, along with some food on top. So, for starters, for the design, I decided to pick a nice pattern design with white and yellow, along with pie in the middle, just for an example, and a water bottle, just, for the sake of it. And for the stand we have is just some brown pieces and a gray piece on the bottom. And just a nice look around it. And this is an example of what it would look like inside a house. Next up we have is this nice little coffee table that you can use, and it's pretty simple. You can get one of these big pieces, which is pretty common, and you guys just gotta take some flat tile, that's a circle, and you can just attach it to the top of this. And then you can really put anything you want on the stand. I just put a transparent cup for an example, and this can also work really well with like a chair. Let's bring Steve over again for an example. And somebody could just like sit and they can have their the coffee table right next to them. And yeah. And here's an example of what it would look like inside a house. Next up we have is this nice Lego plant I put together, which and also has a flower pot, not upside down though, because that'd be weird. Has a nice stand on the bottom, just for be stable, and then just some plants I put together on top of each other, just to make it like look bigger and to make it look nicer. You can also add this to parts. You can put this next to your couch, next to your lamp, all that jazz you can do. And yeah, and this is what it will look like inside a house. And welcome to the end of the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed me showing you those 10 awesome LEGO furniture ideas. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and thank you all so much for watching this video. Peace.